anyhow, hopefully you'll see, they'll call it out between these, hey, there's one out here, remember we got a runner at third, and kind of communicate. The only other thing is there'll be a score sheet that each, somebody from the home team will be responsible for keeping up, because part of the fun is to be able to keep track of ERA, keep track of strikeout leaders and stuff like that, keep track of some of the stats, and also obviously keep track of the score. It is Ghost Runners. There's not a scoreboard, so there's not anybody actively keeping it. Now, we can manufacture one and keep one if we want. I don't think there's any video. I've got some pictures. You can see the one that they make. They make a little scoreboard that they do in some of the leagues. I think Philadelphia uses it, but some of the other places do not. But you can certainly do that in order to try to keep score. But most of the time, it's just communication between the players and the teams. Play 4 innings. There's a 10-run rule after both teams have had 2 at-bats. If one team is up by 10 runs, that team wins. The first team to 20 runs after both teams have had an at-bat wins. So there's a slaughter rule. Typically, it's 4 innings, 30-minute time limit. I'm going to show you 2 games that have been edited a little bit, but not much. And you can watch 2 games in about 15 minutes here. 20 minutes maybe if we watch the whole thing. So they go pretty quick. You start out the count 0-1. So you start out with 1 strike. You can walk. So 4 bad pitches, you get a walk. Foul tip on the 2nd strike into the strike zone is an out. So you foul tip, but you can have unlimited fouls as long as they don't hit the strike zone on the 3rd strike. And those rules are in here. Quite honestly, there are a lot of rules. They run this thing very professionally. They really do a nice job. This covers it pretty well, and I'm not going to go over every single rule. That's why I gave them to you, so you can read them on your own. Thought I would talk a little bit about equipment before we show the video. I've got some examples of what a scuffed ball is. 2 of these are, this first one I'm going to pass around is a little bit over scuffed. It would still be illegal, there'd be no problem with it, but in terms of your own scuffing of them, this is probably a little bit too much. It's hard to control. It really curves too much. Any ball that has a 1/4-inch crack in it is out of play. So once a ball is hit to the point where it gets a crack in it, you can't use it anymore. Here's an example of one that would be illegal or not able to be used.
So these are before the play begins.
Sure.
These are scuffed.
Right. So this is as a pitcher, I prepare my balls before I get to the game. So I'm scuffing my balls, I practice with them, I get them to where I want them, and I can control them. Prior to the first inning, the pitcher gets 10 pitches to warm up. Take 3 or 4 balls out there, see which one he likes. Before each inning, he gets 5 pitches. Crack ball, you don't get change balls or anything like that. The only other time there's any warm-ups is if there's an injury and you got to bring a new pitcher in. Okay? This is pretty much, in my mind, a perfectly scuffed ball. This is one that's controllable. The scuffs are in just the right spot, and it's not too much, not too heavy.
Who scuffs them?
I do. You can use anything you want to scuff them. Now this pattern is the one that you can see on YouTube. They show you how to scuff a ball on YouTube. And this is also the pattern that the guys in the championship that I was at, the World Series deal, this is the pattern they were using, so I stole it from them. In terms of bats, we will use modified yellow bats. The yellow bats, this is one example of a modified bat. This is called the JCWA sleeve. You can't go greatly out of the diameter of the yellow bat, so there's not adding milk jugs or 2-liter bottles and duct tape to it and getting them real wide. Still have to stay within the diameter of the yellow bat. You can add tape. You can cut the handle off, add wood, use a wood handle. You can extend it from 36 inches to 38 inches. So if you cut this off and added a wood dowel rod, you can go up to 38 inches with the length of your bat. This sleeve is actually an inner tube from the inside of a tire. So pass this around. I've added like a tennis grip. Same thing, electrical tape as a grip, and then an electrical tape sleeve. So I just taped it with electrical tape. You'll also see in the rules that you can stuff the bats, but any bat, even if it's deemed illegal to start, that crushes 5 balls in any given day is deemed illegal. It's because you're killing pitchers' balls at that point, and that's not what we're really looking for. There's also a company by the name of Moonshot that makes a Spectra Carb bat. It's a high-end carbon fiber bat, and they sell for about $125, but they would be legal in this play. They're carbon fiber, they're the same diameters. You can get them in 5 or 6 different colors, and so that'd be another bat that would be legal. That'd be the only non-yellow standard wiffle bat that would be legal in the league. Would be a Moonshot bat. I've contemplated many times doing that, but I've never been able to pull the trigger on a $125 bat. In fact, I thought about doing it and then taking it to the engineers and guys at work to see if they can figure out how to blow mold me one out so I can start my own business. But they can't do tubes, they said. So. So yeah, that's where we stand there. We've talked about the cost being $40 per person. We'll do that as an individual or a team. Bring a whole team of 5 in. If you can't find 5, come in as an individual. We'll build teams of 5 from individuals or place you on a team. You have to fill out the waiver through the Parks Department that they have. It does not include a uniform, the $40. So as a team, if you want to get a uniform, you can do that. Lots of options. Cool Threads did an excellent job for me for our shirts that we did for the Reds wiffle ball tournament. I think they were $13 a shirt for two-color silk screen with a number on the back. I mean, it was unbelievable, and we got them about 15 minutes before we needed them, so it worked out all right. Ronnie Couch, who's will be playing in the league probably on my team. He also does a transfer deal, and he can do transfers. I don't know a price on that. I also have a guy from Madison who now has a silk screening business in Seymour named Scott Jackson. I don't know if you remember Scott Jackson or not. He has a place, and he said he would be willing to work with us too on uniforms as well. He's in Seymour. Those are the guys that I know, but East Industries, the guy, he was a big wiffle ball player in college, I think at Western or Eastern, I'm not sure where he went to school, Kentucky. He was a big wiffle ball player. I hope to get him involved in this if he's not too tied up with adult flag football, but that's an option as well. So, talked about the strike zone, the individuals versus the team. Your roster has to be turned in prior to the season start, and your lineup, batting order, has to be turned in prior to the game. The only other thing to talk about prior to watching this video is how we want to play and what we want to play and when we want to play and where we want to play, or what days rather. I would prefer Sundays, quite honestly. Saturdays might work best for everybody else. I don't know. Middle of the week is tough depending on how many teams we have. Not being able to get started until 5:30, 6 o'clock, getting everything set up, and then it getting dark as September and October goes on, so I'm not sure how the middle of the week works. Saturday afternoons or Sunday afternoons, I think, are probably one of the two best days. We'll only play 1 day a week. If we have, like as I mentioned at the beginning, if we have less than 4 teams, it may end up that in the fall it's just kind of a get-together deal. We'll text each other, we'll get together through the Facebook site, say, hey, we're going to get together on this day and play. Anybody wants to play, bring anybody who wants to play. We'll divide teams up there, just play a couple of days and just kind of get used to the rule set. The Courier has already promised if we have a jamboree, our first day of play, they're going to come out and do some pictures and promote the league again once we're started play, which is nice. It may end up, if we do it with a league, I'd like to maybe do a jamboree one Saturday where we have everybody come and just play a couple innings against each other so they kind of understand the rules and get used to it and used to this rule set. But I'm thinking the earliest we would be able to play would be probably like the 10th of September, and it's probably going to be the week after that, which I think is the 17th. That gives everybody like 3 weeks to get their teams together and get everything in. And so I'm thinking the 17th is probably like the date we would look to start. So I'd give everybody a little time to get going. So yeah, that's what I have in terms of this stuff. If you want to watch this video, I'll go ahead and get it started. Hopefully the sound will turn out all right as well.